Hey everyone, it's Ivan, KipEdger.com, here to bring you a little video on traveling with gear as well as weapons. You might find yourself traveling to go maybe hunting, or in my case, coming to New Hampshire for a shooting course. And when you travel, oftentimes you can actually bring your rifle, whatever, to include gear with you on the plane. I kind of had some constraints with that. Reason being is scheduling, all these other things. Ultimately, I flew into Logan International in Boston, Massachusetts. So rather than getting off the plane with my weapon, magazines, everything like that, and surprise, you're going to jail because we hate freedom and liberty in Boston, Massachusetts, I decided I need to figure out some other way to do this. So how did I get my weapon as well as my equipment, magazines, stuff like that, to me here in New Hampshire for this course? What I have to do was ship magazines and gear, as well as my rifle, through USPS. For the gear, it's pretty straightforward. Basically, go down to USPS, find yourself a flat rate box that's gonna fit pretty much what you want to ship in it. And then with that also, it being a flat rate box, pretty much jam this thing up with whatever you don't wanna have in your bag or you don't wanna get stuck with. So I have a bunch of different random stuff that I kind of threw in here that I want for this course. But then some of the bigger things that I threw in here, stuff I don't want to get jammed up with, like standard capacity magazines. And it also has the opportunity for you to throw other stuff you maybe don't want in your luggage because honestly it all adds up, like tools and things along those lines. But gives you the opportunity to get all that stuff in here that you don't want to get stuck carrying through somewhere where you might get arrested because they hate you. So what about shipping your rifle? You're going to end up paying for size and weight. So they don't have giant flat rate boxes. So you're going to need to find something. And as much as I love like Pelican cases or things along those lines, those are not only big, but they're also really heavy. And you're going to end up paying for that. So what was my solution? Well, I needed a box anyway to ship this in, although you can absolutely just ship in like a Pelican case. But what I ended up doing was going down to local sporting goods store and picked myself up a sweet arrow case. Is this big enough for a rifle? Yes. Is it big enough for a rifle all put together? Not really, but I didn't need that. So what I did is went down, got myself this arrow case, which also had a cardboard box. And as far as people breaking in and stealing stuff, I don't really see anyone trying to steal arrows, but it gave me the opportunity to ship my rifle. A couple of things to note shipping firearms. Yes, you can legally ship your firearms from yourself to yourself somewhere else in the country to engage in lawful activity. One, be aware of local laws. Obviously, I didn't want that coming to me when I landed in Massachusetts. So I shipped it from myself to myself, care of SIG Academy, New Hampshire. And some other things to be aware of is when you go into the post office, chances are 99% of the time you're going to get someone that is completely unfamiliar with the process. To that end, they don't really know what's going on. They're going to be like, make sure you disarm the flux capacitor. And you're like, I'll do that for you, no problem. Really though, they'll be like, remove the firing pin. And it's like, you couldn't even tell me what the firing pin is. But to that end, like partially disassemble, remove the bolt carrier group, whatever. The big thing is, yes, it needs to be unloaded. When I went in, I lucked out. There was someone in there who had done it before, sending people's weapons for hunting, whatever it is. And I went in before I had boxed everything, before I sealed everything. I was like, hey, do you want me to open this up? Like, do you want to inspect it? He's like, no, don't worry about it. All right, cool. Taped it up, shipped it off, no problem. While you can and probably should insure your weapons before you ship them off, there's other things that you can absolutely carry with you that may be high dollar amount that you don't want to ship. This being one of them. Honestly, it's probably worth more than my rifle. And it's really easy to just wrap up in a jacket and throw in my pack, keep it in my carry-on. What about shipping pistols? Well, USPS will not allow you as an individual citizen to ship pistols to yourself. And they need to go basically 1-2 day or something like that. So you're kind of limited with how you can go about it. And a lot of places won't want to do it. So to that end, I would say advise yourself of what the laws are, as well as what policies are, and recognize there's a difference between those two. Not that I would encourage you to do anything you shouldn't, but hopefully this has been helpful for some of you guys. And as always, thanks for joining us at kitbadger.com. Look forward to seeing you next time.